Hello there, Crafty Doer. Jessica Michaels here with the weekly project post. For this week's project, I've created a layout using transparent texture paste and alcohol inks to open up a little series I'm calling Mixed Media March Madness. Join me the entire month of March as we explore mixed mediums like never before. But before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel for more content like this and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. Here's how it went. You're going to want to prepare your paper, whatever it is that you're using. And so I went ahead and used texture paste. This is transparent gloss, meaning it goes on white, but when it dries, it will be see-through, clear, glossy. This is to help prevent any of your mediums to bleed through your paper. So I am going to scrapbook a photo with water in it. So it's a water theme layout. And I used my brush to create strokes with the texture paste. So if you can see the strokes of the paintbrush there, creating really pretty like wave-like design. So I let that dry and then I go ahead and grab my alcohol inks. I grabbed a few colors. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use yet, but I grabbed this really pretty array of blues and all these other tools that I may or may not end up using. But I am no expert in alcohol ink at all. I will tell you about an expert that I know. Her name is Tiffany Solero. I am totally fangirling right now. She is awesome. She's so talented and super down to earth. You can learn. I've learned so much from her, except the alcohol inks because they scare me. Excuse me, but they shouldn't scare you. Now, the reason why you see that I am not having very much success with this is because I am not using the right paper. It is called Yupo paper. I'm not sure if that's a brand or if that's just the name of the type of paper, but it helps the alcohol ink glide when you use that air tool, just like you kind of see it glide here a little bit. But you can still see how my gloss and my paper is just kind of sucking up all of the ink where I initially place it. And so I've heard, and I haven't used that Yupo paper, but Tiffany does, and she does magic with it. I'll have her link down below, let her know that I sent you to learn a little bit more about alcohol inks. So one thing that I did learn from her is that you can use isopropyl alcohol to help, I guess, rehydrate your ink and then also help it excuse me, move. Tiffany is always offering classes on how to use your alcohol inks. I highly recommend you go check those out. The purpose of my video, however, is to show you that you don't necessarily need technique or the correct quote unquote supplies to play with your alcohol inks, and you can still get beautiful and organic mixed media pieces like in this project. Actually, I get very impatient and I use my finger just to spread the ink across the entire page. I'm not ecstatic at this point, but I am pretty content. And then to add a layer of texture, I overheat the texture paste until it starts to bubble, kind of giving a little bit of that, like the bubbles you see in the waves of the ocean when they start crashing. So at this point, I'm starting to get very happy with my mixed media piece. And I know that I want to layer it up. So I begin to tear the paper in half. And once I decide that I really like it in the center of the layout, I run it through my sewing machine. I start off with a zigzag and wish I didn't, because afterwards I end up adding these waves of stitches randomly on the actual mixed media piece and then on top of the zigzags. And I just wish I would have thought of that. But either way, I do end up adding a little bit more zigzags and waves to a a little piece at the top right of the layout, and I end up liking the way that it looks. So I chose the center because I have this really cool cut file that I created and made available for you for free. Just go to my website. I'll have it linked down below, and go check out my website, see what other goodies you find. So moving right along, I decided that the layout is a little too clean for the mixed media piece. And so I just go and get my X-Acto knife and start distressing the edges. So now I grab my enamel dots, my collection of very sad and scarce enamel dots. I need to go shopping. So I grabbed my entire collection because I wanted to pull all the hues of blues from all of these different enamel dots. And I also have this collection of arrows by Heidi Swap that I actually got in a swap box from from my cherry friends over at the message board at A Cherry on Top. This swap box happened a while back. I think they're actually in the middle of doing one right now. I wasn't able to sign up for that one because the last one I ended up purging a lot of my stuff, and I'm pretty good right now. But these arrows are perfect because it has a tiny bit of pink. And so I have two little girls, and 99% of the photos will have pink in them, regardless of, what the occasion or the event of the photo is. There might be a pink blanket on the couch or a pink toy on the floor that happens to make it, in the photo, or they will be wearing their pink shoes. Like my little one has pink Crocs that she wears everywhere. So majority of the photos will have her pink Crocs in it. And so I like these arrows because it has just a tiny bit of pink. I, in fact, like embellishments that have pink in it because pink will make it to my layouts one way or another. And so the pink in these little arrows really help the pink in the photos come out. And because my husband is often in the photos, I don't like to make them completely masculine, but also, or I should say completely feminine because he's in there. But this is a perfect example of a layout where, he's in it. Majority of the colors in there are blue. And so this is a perfect example of how my brain works when I scrap for my girls. But so much for watching. I hope you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed so you can watch more of my mixed media March Madness and see how you can easily add mixed media to your projects. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any mediums you would like to see me create with. As usual, the supply list for the products I used in this project are in the description box below. Hey, remember, you create because you were fearfully and wonderfully created. And don't forget that you belong, even if paper crafting isn't your thing.